Okay, at the start, they they wanted to jam all the action they could in this thing. So this show started out with no entrances, no introductions. They opened up in the ring and they rang the bell for Claudio Castagnoli against Felix. And the ADD assisted stipulation on this match was that the winner will get a shot at the other guy's championship. Claudio is the Ring of Honor World Champion, and Felix is one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And whoever wins, if Felix won, he'd get a shot at Claudio's title. And if Claudio won, he could pick a partner and get a shot at the tag team title. And my question to you, Brian Last, is why would either of them want that?
I don't know. There's no good reason. I don't know.
There's no... Because if Claudio's the world champion, why does he want to be a world tag team champion? And honestly, if the tag team titles mean anything, if you're a world tag team champion, why do you're already a world champion? Bobby Eaton got NWA world title shots at Ric Flair, but not while we were the world champions. Was odd. And plus this whole thing is they're champions of another company that the hardcore fans know is all owned now by the same people. But for the average, again, if any average person tried to watch this program, they'd go, well, what's Ring of Honor? I thought this was AEW. What's going on here? What were you going to say?
I was going to say part of the problem, too, is whatever was going on there. Again, show-long problem was really bad during the main event. You have a commentating team that can't explain anything. That just laugh at each other, telling jokes. Shivani just yells out superlatives whenever he can. That's part of the problem. You need
loud noises.
You need explanation on that show, and it has to be from someone who can communicate. It can't just be from someone talking like this, and then his little friend is just happy to be there, and then sometimes you forget Taz is even there. And then eventually he jumps in.
I think Taz is trying mostly to stay under the radar and not get any on him, but okay, so both guys are champions of another company going for a title match of another company against each other when they already have titles in another company. And Claudio is fantastic. And he made this better than most Felix matches, but he shouldn't be out there doing synchronized tumbling with a guy a foot shorter than him to begin with. And if every American didn't think that they were Mexican, then Felix's shit would stand out more because he does it better than most. But since you just see so much of the spinningness and acrobaticness, it's all meaningless. But here's the thing with Claudio, he's so strong and he's such a good worker. I would make him the second heel to a real strong top heel. Because the only thing Claudio doesn't have is a strong promo. So put him in the main event mix. And I'm not talking about partners. I'm talking about the loose alliances like that the heels in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling used to have. When they would all come out for the show closing interview and they all had their own belt or their own issue, but they were all main event fucking pricks that stuck together, right? And make him the second heel to a real strong top heel. They're friends. They're not always partners. It puts him in the top mix, gives him credibility, have him get singles wins. Don't give him the big ball where promos are essential. But God, he could be such an asset to a roster. And he's the fucking third guy in his own group of flunkies. So anyway, I zoned out on a lot of this, but Claudio finally won with a powerbomb. And as I made note, he's the Ring of Honor World Champion, and he's presented as the number 3 guy in his own group. So there we go. Your thoughts?
It was all right. I disagree with you about Claudio. I just think I think people in the business like him a lot more than, I don't know. He's just, to me, he's so bland. And, I can only see the Giant swing so many times. And I'm sorry, unless you're Billy Robinson, the European uppercut sucks. It looks like shit. It looks like complete shit. Or Dory
Funk Jr.
His sucked too after a while. Let's be very honest. He got very slow, and you could see him talking to the guy while he was doing it. It was almost like he gave up. It was like, I lost the NWA title. Now I'm just going to go through the motions for the next 50 years.
All right.
I think that, yeah, I mean, Claudio's, to me, I think he's okay. And a lot of it's just the way he's been booked since he left the Kings of Wrestling, or since he got to the main roster, and since he got to AEW. He is that second or third guy in the background. There's been nothing that's been done or that he's done to break away from that. And he wrestles fine matches.
And that's what you want. You want a guy with that level of strength and that level of working ability to be in the periphery of a fucking top heel, because he can do whatever. And sometimes he might drop a fall instead of your main guy, or he might interfere, make the difference or whatever. But nobody's presented Claudio with attention on him and trying to negate his weaknesses and put people around him to fucking bring the entertainment level up. Anyway,